Hello, Secondary Math 1 students. So this is the second packet. It's the one that was due May 1st, and it's over graphing and writing linear equations. And so once again, if you haven't done this yet, you can pick up the packet or you can do it online. Technically, nothing's due till May 15th, but it'd be really smart of you to be moving forward and progressing so that we can do it. Again, the layout of these packets are that it's going to give you notes and assignments, and behind each assignment, I don't know why they just one-sided this, but here's the assignment, and then I hope this comes soon. There it is. There's all the answers, so that hopefully you're able to kind of self-check and make sure that you know what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and get to the review again, and again the answers are in the back if you need those. I'm just going to walk through how to do them and hopefully give you guys some information about how to be successful. I'm actually really glad that they one-sided it because I'm going to use some markers today to just kind of help you guys to see what's happening. So first, let's start with that they want you to get y by itself. Now, they kind of showed the work, so I'm going to do it over here to the side. If I have negative 1/2 x plus y equals 1, I want to move my x to get y by itself. Since it's a negative 1/2 x, I'm going to add 1/2 x to give me y equals 1/2 x plus 1. And here's what's really important, is you need to know that this right here, whatever's in front of the x, so let me write this out. Y equals mx plus b. This m, I don't know why it's the m. It's so weird, but it is. It's from way back, and I'm sure there's a whole lesson on that I'm not going to teach you. But it is representing slope, okay? And then let me get a different color. Let's go with this one. It's right here, whatever's at the end, the constant, that's b, and that's the y-intercept. Again, really weird, but here's what it is. We want to start here. Okay, start at the y-intercept. So on my graph right here on my y-axis, you can see they start at 0, 1. That's the y-intercept. And then I have always taught 1/2 to be rise over run. Okay, so I don't know why it's got this way. I would have gone up 1 over 2. Either way, we get there. Okay, so, I mean, they even wrote rise over run, but who knows? We don't know. Okay, so let's look at number 18. Can you think about where we would start? Which number would we start at? Think about it. Okay, I hope you said the 4, because this is my y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to start at 4 on the y-axis. Here's my y-axis, so here it is. 4. We always start on the y-axis, okay? And then this one's my slope. So weird. It's a whole number. And for the first time ever, you're upset that it's a whole number because we're supposed to have rise over run. So we have to put that over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. I like to go away because I don't have a ruler, but also it's just more accurate. So if I go up and to the right, that's the same as going down and to the left. And the reason why I need this is because they ask another question. They said, what's the x-intercept? So the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, and in this case it's -2. Now, some people write it like this, x equals -2, and sometimes they ask like this, -2, 0. Then, looking at number 19, same thing, but it's not solved yet, so I'm going to have to first add my 5x and get y equals 5x minus 10. So once again, where would I start this process? You're right, -10. So down here at -10, it's not even marked. And then right here, 5, we're going to put over 1. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this may seem silly to do for you at this point in your life, but when you are a sophomore and you have to do 2 lines at once and find the intercept for the systems of equations, you will be glad you did. Again, this one's at x equals +2 or 2, 0. Okay, this one's going to need a little bit more work. We first have to subtract the x and get 3y equals negative x plus 9. Again, I want that x first so that I can see what's the slope, what's the y-intercept. And I'm going to have to divide each of those by 3, so I get y equals, that's a negative 1, negative 1/3 x, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So once again, I'm going to start right here at this positive 3. My slope is a negative 1/3. Now, we haven't done that yet. What do you think rise negative means? If rise means up, negative has to mean down. So we can go down 1 over, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got my graph. And this time my x-intercept is way over here at 9, so either x equals 9 or 9, 0. When I looked at your answer document, though, it said x equals 9 was what they were looking for, if you're curious. Okay, number 21 is going to be from a big screen here. So it first says a linear function h models a relationship in dependent variable where it decreases, so let me find my slope pin, decreases 2 units for every 3. So decrease means it's going to go down for every 3. Then it says use the independent variable increases graph at h where h equals 2. H of 0 equals 2. So that's our x, that's our y. So basically they're saying at 0 it's 2, or my y-intercept is 2. That's basically what it's saying. So if I were to write that as an equation, let me rewrite it right here, it'd be y equals negative 2/3 x, because that's my slope, and then that's a positive 2, so plus 2. Now I have to use my graph, starting here at positive 2, and then this says negative 2/3. Negative, meaning I'm going to go down and then to the right. So right here I'm going to go down 2. And don't be fussy with all these little dots and feel like you gotta erase them. That's showing work. Oh, math teachers go a little excited about that. We get a little pumped when we see this, because that tells me that you know what I know, and that is my slope, right? That you get it. So I hope that you're not shy about showing your work right there. X equals 3 is my x-intercept, so we'll just write it just like that. Okay, one down. And we've got this guy right here, the back side. So this is slope-intercept form, and they give you an example, and then they say, do it for here. So this is the points that they give us. I'm gonna write them right here, 0, 1, and 4, negative 1. So they have the equation right here, but basically this is my first point, x1, y1, and this is my second point. I'm gonna use a different color, x2, y2. If you like colors, you should join my class when you're junior or senior, because I only teach in colors, because I'm a visual learner and I like to see it like that. So my equation is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y2 is right here, this negative 1. And I have to put a minus because the equation, and then y1 is 1. Ooh, big picture, sorry. Over my x2 is 4 minus, because that's in the equation, and then my x1 is 0. So negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 over 4 reduces to negative 1/2. So let's check it. Is that true? Oh, let me find my slope equation. So this says go down 1 over 2. So from right here, did I go down 1 over 2? Yep. Down 1 over 2? Yep. I did. So that just reinforces what's happening here. Okay, it looks like we've got this weird way that they're writing it, and it's okay. We're just going to rewrite it the way we like it. So over here, number 2, we have 0.8 and 420. So once it, well, I'll just stick with it right here. So I've got my those are my y2, so I'm going to do 20 minus 8 over 4 minus 0. So 20 minus 8 is 12 over 4 makes 3. And it says write a linear function, which means an equation. So I would say y equals, that's my slope, 3x. And then right here, do you see it? It tells me 0, 8. And so that's my y-intercept. Okay, so going over here, I'm going to do number 4. And so that is 5, -1, and 0, -1. Now this one's going to be weird. It's okay though. Here's my y's. -1 minus -1 and 0 minus 5. So double negative becomes a positive, and this is 0 over -5, which means it's undefined. Undefined graphically means that it's going up and down like this. But do you see how they're both -1? So my equation is y equals -1. 3 and 5 look just like 2 and 4. I'm going to suggest that you take a minute to pause, push that little button and pause it, and then try it yourself. I hope you did. If not, here's your chance. Pause it. Okay, I'm going to do it. So right here, this is 0, 5, oh sorry, number 3. 0, 5, and 2, -3. So again, here's my y's. I'm going to do -3 minus 5 over 2 minus 0. -8 over 2 is -4. That's my slope, so y equals -4x. And then again, here it is. That's my y-intercept, plus 5. Okay, number 5, we have -4, 0, and 0, 0. Here's my y's. 0 minus 0, 0 minus -4 is 0 over 4, which is undefined. And so I can see right here, y equals 0. Okay, so that's how to use 2 points to a slope, and then to use the y-intercept to write the equation. Okay, now we have to learn about parallel and perpendicular. So they kind of do some weird stuff here. I just want to make sure that you understand. Parallel means that they have the same slope. They never cross. If you remember in my last lesson, I said that's because there's no solution, right? So if I was looking at these two right here, 2 and 2, those have to be parallel because they're both the same. Okay. And then I'm going to have to use some space over here. Perpendicular. Perpendicular is opposite and reciprocal. So what it means opposite, like I have to have one positive, one negative, and let's say I gave you 2/3. Reciprocal would be 3/2. It just means they flippy-flop. Okay? That's very technical math. All right, so right here, do you see how I have a negative and a positive, and a 1/2, and technically a 2/1, those would be perpendicular. So when they give us this tough problem here, there's a lot going on. You could take those 2 points and you could do it just like we did. Or I prefer just counting. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do it right here. For A, you can see right here, I'm going to count. I'm going to go up 1, 2. So I'm basically making a line between these two dots. So I went up 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would reduce to 1/3. Sorry. Okay, is there anything on the other side? No. Okay, so I'm going to use some different colors here. Okay, and then for B, we can see from point to point, I'm just going to make a triangle. It goes up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4. Okay. And then let's look at C. Whoa, this one's really far apart. Here we go. So we go up 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's also 1/3. And then don't be shy. Here's this one. Here's D. Ooh, all the way. So I hope you can see, those all were positive, right? It was going up from left to right. Up, up and over, up and over. But this one, it's going down. I hope you can see that. So it's negative, so I'm going to go down 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down 8 and over 1, 2, which means it's positive 4. So what it's asking us to do on number 13 is to decide if there's parallel or perpendicular and explain. I'm just going to explain verbally. But right here, do we see that 1/3 and 1/3 are the same? And so A is parallel to C. That's how you write it all fancy. That just means parallel. Okay? And then right here, do you see this says 1? Oop, I forgot my negative. I was about to say. This is a positive and a negative. 1/4, and technically this is -4/1. So these are perpendicular, so we write that as B perpendicular D. So that you don't have to write perpendicular, but if you want to, you can. Okay, I'm going to strongly suggest you pause right now and try number 14 because I just did 13 and 14 looks just like it. Take a minute to pause. Okay, I hope you did. Here we are. This is the A, so I'm going to start with A, and you can see it's going down. So it went down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't reduce that. Then B, we got all the way over here, so B is down 2, and it went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can reduce that to -1/3. Okay, then here's C. So C is right here, right here. So this time it's going up from left to right. So I'm going to go up. So those were negative because they were going down. This one's going up. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And over 2 is 3. And then right here, D. There's a point, there's a point. Make my triangle. So it went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over 2 is 3. So even if you didn't do it, maybe you take a moment right now. Can you decide which ones are parallel and which ones are perpendicular? So parallel means they have to be the same. I hope you see that C and D are both 3. So C is parallel to D. Okay, and then technically 3 is 3/1, and so this -1/4 is a loner. There's nothing going on there. But we have this -1/3 and a +3, so B is perpendicular to C and to D because C and D are parallel. Okay, and then we're going to do some work here. So it says number 15 has A is 0, 4, and 4, 3. So I'm going to do my y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 is -1/4. B is 0, 1, 4, 0. So -1/4. And then C is 2, 0. I'm just getting them from right here. I hope you're seeing that. And 4, 4, so there's my y's, 4 minus 0, 4 minus 2, 4/2 is 2. Just check my work. I don't want to give you guys any wrong answers here. Yep, that's what I got first time as well. So right here, these are the exact same, and so A is parallel to B. Okay, that's number 15. I think you should pause. Oh, well, 16 is a little bit different, but it's kind of the same. You can choose if you want to. Okay, so 16A says 2x minus 7y equals 14. I have to get that y by itself. So first I'm going to subtract my 2x. That leaves me with a -7. And then I'm going to divide each of these by a -7. So y equals a negative over negative is a positive 2/7x, and positive over negative makes a -2. So my slope in this is right here, this 2/7, right? Because that's my slope. Oops, sorry. So this is my slope that I'm talking about, right here. Okay, looking at the next one, B says y equals 7/2 x minus 8. Now that's in y equals mx plus b form, so I don't have to do anything. Isn't that fabulous? So right here, that's 7/2. Now I'm wondering, did I mess up on my minus, negative? Yeah, that's a real bummer. Those aren't parallel and they aren't perpendicular. They are reciprocals, but they are not parallel, nor are they perpendicular. You would have to have one of them negative. That's kind of sad. And then C, we have 2x plus 7y equals negative 21. So let me look at this one. We've got to subtract the 2x. Okay, and so we've got 7y equals negative 2x minus 21, and then I'm going to divide each of these by 7. So I've got negative 2/7 x, and that's minus 3. So that's my equation, but the part that I want right here is the slope, negative 2/7. So I do have a negative. So these are not parallel because they're not the exact same. But right here, these two are perpendicular. So we would say B is perpendicular C. Okay, so number 17 says that we want it says that write an equation that passes through this point and is parallel. That's the key word right there, parallel. Parallel means same. And so right here, here's my slope. So I know my slope is going to be negative 4. And I know that I have a point 1, 5, which is my x1, y1. Okay, here's the equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Wow, that's challenging. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in this y1, 5. We're going to put that right here. Equals my slope, that negative 4. And then I have x minus this x1. Let me get a different color so we can see it right here. 1. Okay, so let's just review this. This is the equation to get from a point and a slope. This is called the point slope form. Isn't that what you would expect from a math teacher? Is that that's a point and it slopes. That's what we're using. So I used my point, that 5 and this 1, and I used my slope, the negative 4, and I knew that because it says parallel. Okay, and so now I've got to solve, and these are always the same steps. First, we're going to distribute. So we're going to leave this y minus 5, and we're going to distribute this. We're going to say negative 4x, and a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, our next step that we're going to do is we're going to move the y. Okay, or not the y, what's with the y. We're going to either, oh my gosh, we're going to either add or subtract from the y. Oh, Cooper. Okay, so that says y minus 5. Now look at these. Which of those can I put it with? Does it have an x? No. So I have to put it over here. So y equals negative 4x plus 9. That's the correct answer. Okay, here we are with this one. So again, it tells me a point, but this time it says perpendicular, and we know perpendicular means opposite and reciprocal. So since they gave me a negative 2, technically over 1, instead of a negative, I want a positive. Instead of 2 over 1, I want 1 over 2. So here we are with the same thing here. We've got our slope is 1/2, and we have this point, 2, negative 3. And so I want that equation again. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus this y1 equals my slope, 1/2, x minus this x1. I hope the colors are showing you what I see. Do you guys see this double negative? I want to take care of that in my first step, as well as distribute. 1/2 x, and half of 2 is 1. Okay, and then like we said, so we distributed, and now we're going to add or subtract from the y. This says y plus 3 this time, so what should we do? We should subtract 3, and again, it's going to go over here to this constant, and so y equals 1/2 x, and negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Again, I'm available for tutoring on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., noon, and 1 p.m. And my number is 385-646-2219. Have a good day.